Senate Resolution 38 by Senator Steinberg relative to the suspension of Senators Ronald S. Calderon, Roderick D. Wright, and Leland Y. Yee.
Senator Steinberg.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and members of the Senate and members of the public. I rise today to seek the indefinite suspensions of Senators Yee, Calderon, and Wright. I wish that Senators Yee and Calderon would resign and spare this proud and productive institution and its members the stigma of associating with their alleged actions. Leave, please. We've made that request, and apparently they will not. The satisfying thing would be to expel them immediately. But I reluctantly conclude that what would be satisfying and popular would also run afoul of the most basic American principles of due process and the idea that people are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Yet none of the members mentioned in the resolution can serve another day in this Senate going forward unless they are exonerated, period. I have maintained, as you know, with Senator Wright and Calderon, that a leave of absence was sufficient and gave my word to you and to the public that they would not come back unless they were exonerated. My word is always good. But after Wednesday's events, I recognize that is no longer sufficient. An affirmative suspension puts this House on formal record that we unequivocally distance ourselves and the Senate from the unfathomable allegations contained in the Yee indictment, as well as the other case. It establishes with no doubt that only this body may allow them back, and only if they are exonerated. I want to say a few words about the question of culture and the Senate culture, which has understandably arisen as a result of these past events. I maintain, and I say it without hesitation, that the vast majority of the members in this House, the 37 other members not implicated in any of this, act in a manner that is honorable and do not act in a manner reflected in these allegations. I don't want to recount all this legislature has done and been through, but suffice it to say that the irony of the present circumstances are that reasonable people could make the argument that the last 3 years have been among the most productive legislative sessions in modern history. But that's not what this is about here today. I want to emphasize to all of you that, and the members of the public, that we do have mandatory ethics training. And it's an intensive ethics training. But there are some things, members, that you just can't teach. I know of no ethics class that teaches about the illegality and the danger of gun running or other such sordid activities. But there are other profound issues that have been raised and that get raised in politics every year, but sometimes it takes a crisis to bring them to the forefront. And it's that issue of the fact that it is legal it is accepted, and it in fact is necessary for people running for office and for incumbents to raise money from interests and then later to vote on measures that those interests have before the legislature. That is legal, accepted, and necessary. And yet, it causes great distrust, and understandably so. And might this be a moment and an impetus to once again discuss either public financing of campaigns or other measures that remove that reality of the present system? I hope so. Most of the members, as I said before, raise money and vote on issues, but do so in the most honorable way possible, given the system. They vote against their friends. They look a campaign contributor in the eye and say, not on this one, I disagree with you. Most do that. A few do not. But I must say to you here that just to proclaim the need to fix this system, which is the American system, not just the system that affects the California State Senate or the California State Legislature, is not enough. We must do more here in the Senate. I understand the concern out there. I disagree with it, but I understand it. 1 is an anomaly, 2 is a coincidence, 3? That's not what this Senate is about or what these members are about, but I understand it. So what are we going to do to take stock? I am calling on our entire body to take a deeper look at our culture. Accordingly, I will cancel session on Monday, April the 7th, and have the Senate conduct an office-by-office ethics review. This review will be mandatory for members, Capitol staff, district and committee staff. It will once again, but more intensively, not in a group setting, but office by office, review ethics rules, raise awareness, provide a forum for anybody, member or staff, to confidentially discuss any concerns about any situation, and make sure that there is no question about where the line is and what the rules are. This message will be reinforced, and the following message will be reinforced. If you are a staff member in this building, you have a duty of loyalty to your member. But if you know of any behavior which is unethical from anyone, it is your duty to report it, and we expect you to do so. If you are a member, the same applies. And if you are a member of the public who witnesses anything that you believe to be ethically questionable, we welcome you bringing that forward. Members, we will get through this, and the Senate will get through this. I said the other day that you have 2 choices. We have 2 choices. We can either bury our heads or we can hold them high. I choose to hold my head high, and I urge you to do the same. We have a lot of work to do on behalf of the people of California, and we intend to do it. And at the same time, we will not be hesitant to take stock and to look inside and to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect the integrity of this great institution. I urge an aye vote, and I vote on the resolution before you.
Senator deLeón.
Thank you, Madam President. Smoke and mirrors, paid Roman monthly holiday vacations, raising my kids, incentivizing bad behavior, letters, thousands of letters upon letters that I guess have descended from the sky to the state capitol. And I do agree that no senator, for that matter, no individual, regardless of the title he or she may hold, is above the law. We all know that, and that's common sense. No individual, no group, no ethnicity, no gender, no political party has a monopoly on ethics, on good behavior. Let me underscore and let me emphasize that. Sanctimonious, puritanical behavior, political opportunism at its best that we're all witnessing together publicly in this fine institution. I can tell you from my own personal experience that I have a tremendous amount of respect for each and every one of you, regardless of political party, Republican or Democrat. I cherish this august institution, the California State Senate, that I will say today that there's no greater political legislative body in this land than the California State Legislature, and biasly and subjectively, the California State Senate. And that includes, yes, the U.S. Congress and the U.S. Senate. When we talk about work product, whether you concur or not concur on particular pieces of legislation or policy, when you talk about work product, what this body produces that helps improve the human condition for all individuals, regardless of who they are and regardless of where they come from, when you quantify, when you measure it, when you verify it, is quite amazing. This is not New York State and Albany. This is not New York, New Jersey. This is not Philly. This is not Austin, Texas. This is not the U.S. Congress. This is the California State Senate. And yes, these are indeed very difficult times. No question about it. It's an anomaly. It's a once-in-a-generational thing when you will see three individuals from this particular body have a cloud over them, all for different reasons. One can argue, in fact, that the system worked. The system, in fact, worked. One individual with the allegations in the criminal affidavit by the U.S. Attorney's Office, obviously it's open and it's public, tried to influence the process of workers' compensation. And guess what? No legislative bill moved forward. In fact, was even heard in a policy or fiscal committee. In fact, we moved forward collectively the most comprehensive workers' comp package in decades. So the system worked. There was an attempt, alleged in the affidavit, an attempt to influence tax credits for film production below $1 million. Guess what? The system worked. There was no measure that was moved forward. There was no measure, in fact, that was even voted on up or down. So one can argue forcefully that the system actually worked here in this legislative body. With regards to the latest allegations, we all know collectively, we've been reading it, it sounds like a bad Hollywood script. All of us collectively are shocked, we're dismayed, we're deeply disappointed if in fact the allegations are true, or perhaps even a kernel of it is true. These are indeed very difficult times. But this is an amazing legislative body, a body that I love very much. And each and every one of you, the members, are constitutionally elected by your constituents to send you up here to Capitol to represent them. You are all fine individuals, Democrats as well as Republicans. But when these difficult times come, you see the nature and character of individuals. Political opportunism that's quite pervasive. I'm going to run for Congress, or I'm going to run for that, so I need to use a platform, take advantage of this opportunity, because it's there. Let's burn the house down. Let's become cannibalistic. Let's go after each other. Who cares if we tear this house down and burn it down to the ground? As long as it furthers my own political motives, as long as my ratings go up in my own district, that's what counts the most at the end of the day. That's not thinking for the Republic, for the state of California, for this fine institution. Let me underscore again, no one has a monopoly on puritanical values, on sanctimonious behavior, holier than thou type of thinking. This is the best legislative institution in the country, hands down. We're going through very difficult times, and guess what? We're going to get past this. And we'll become better because of it, and we're going to move forward. With that, Madam President, I support this resolution.
Thank you, Senator DeLeón.